So, your adventures are over. Oh no, to live. To live would be an awfully big adventure.
Hello, folks. Welcome to NYC Actors Talk Film. I'm Nick, and this is our Robin Williams miniseries. Our second episode. Our first episode was our Mrs. Doubtfire episode with Bailey Wilkinson. You can check that out now. This is the second episode of our miniseries. We're going through what's considered Robin Williams' best performances and figuring out what is his best performance. We have a very special guest today, Bill Wetherbee.
Oh, I lost my marbles. How did I get here?
Oh no! I can't see your marbles, dude. Sorry.
Oh man.
Wrong.
Oh,
You
man.
must be in the wrong podcast.
Oh, jeez. Oh man.
Also, Hunter's here.
Hey. Hey, guys.
Hey, dude.
Bangarang!
Bangarang, dude.
Bangarang.
Bangarang. So yeah. Oh yeah, and
We're talking about Hook.
We're talking about Hook. I almost forgot to mention the movie. So yeah, Hook is our second movie, Robin Williams movie we will be discussing on our mini-series. And look, he's Peter Pan. We're in Neverland. We're having a time. Mermaids are there. Fairies are there. What could go wrong?
Hoffman's there?
Dustin Hoffman's there,
Glenn
and
Close shows up at one point.
Glenn Close is there, which in a very unrecognizable role as what's the character's name?
A pirate.
Beardy McBearderson.
I'll check IMDb on that one.
Yeah, look that character up, goddammit, because she's my MVP.
Gutless.
Gutless. That's her name.
Gut.
His name.
Gutless. It's Gutless.
It's Gutless. That's an incredible name.
What a name.
What a name. Gutless is the best pirate. Let's be real. So yeah,
Gwyneth Paltrow's in it?
Gwyneth Paltrow's. Look, it's a stacked cast. It is a stacked cast. There's so many people in this movie.
Oh, and also, sorry, I hate myself. We got Julia Roberts is in this movie as well. Who's
Julia Roberts, that's
amazing.
right. We're getting ahead of ourselves, Hunter.
We'll get there.
We're getting there. Look, I know you like Tink. You like Tink. I get it.
I like Tink. Okay.
Look, we all like Tink. She's a fairy. We like her. But yeah, so we'll be talking about Hook, a wildly popular movie back in the day. It came out was it 80s?
91.
Sorry, 81? 91. So it was an early 90s movie. Steven Spielberg directed it. Something I did not know about until I watched it.
Me neither.
I was confused about that.
Yeah, I was very confused, and we'll get into it once we talk about our thoughts on the movie. But I have a feeling we might all be on the same page, maybe. But we'll see. I see Hunter right now, and he's a little confused.
I'm interested. I am interested. I felt like this one could go either way.
Yeah. So the purpose of this miniseries is to go through what is considered Robin Williams' best performances, and I see a lot of people talk about Hook, and talk about him in Hook. And I've never seen Hook before, so this was a first viewing for me, and I've heard good things. I've heard not so good things too. Like, it wasn't just all good, but I've heard that, when people mention Robin Williams, they mention this movie, and so that's one of the main reasons I wanted to put this one in the miniseries, because it's so well known and well liked and popular and everything. Bill, since you're our guest, before even talking about your thoughts about the movie Hook, what are your just overall thoughts on Robin Williams as a performer, as an actor, as a person?
Yeah, I mean, this is. I'm so glad that you asked me to be on this one, because, for those that don't know, Nick and I went to the same college, and
That's right. Went to a bunch of college parties. You know, we were
Bunch of
just
all of
we
them.
were the most popular guys.
Oh yeah, we were. Oh, the ladies loved us.
The ladies loved us, dude.
Yeah.
We would talk about Marvel movies with them. They would love us for it.
Definitely, yeah. And
Lady killers.
and in the spring, the theater performance majors have a showcase, and to prepare for it, they do little like one-on-one 30-second interviews with each senior.
That's right. I almost forgot about that. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And for mine, I talked about Robin Williams.
Oh, okay.
Because in one of his stand-up specials, I forget which one it was, but it's most likely on YouTube. He has a quote where he says, everybody is given one little spark of madness and you must never lose it. And that has just stuck with me. Like I have loved that line for my entire life. Like ever since I can't remember when I first heard it, but that quote has always been in my head through everything that I do, whether it's creatively, in life, you know, like that's all we're given. And I was so heartbroken when he passed. Like I won't forget where I was. Like my family was driving home from Michigan. We were visiting family. My mom all of a sudden just goes, Robin Williams just died. And I didn't believe her. And I was in like a Robin Williams morning. It took me years before I watched any of his movies. It was hard. Like he was one of my big inspirations to choose this career path. So a lot of like who I am as a person and a performer, it is because of him. Like he's just been an inspiration.
Yeah, I mean that's such an inspiring quote you just mentioned. Yeah, absolutely. I mean he really was a spark of light and just he was just a genius. And yeah, his passing was extremely tragic. And actually, I kind of did maybe the opposite of what you did once you heard. I actually watched one of his movies like immediately, you know, like when he passed, just to like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if it was like a coping thing or it was just like to see him in something again. I don't know, but it was just like something I really wanted to do. I think it was Dead Poets Society.
Oh, wow.
Like that was the movie. Like I never saw that movie before when I watched it then. And yeah, it was just like, I think that was the movie like I needed to watch at that point. But yeah, absolutely. Well said, Bill. Yeah. So yeah, I think we're all touched by Robin's work and everything. So I think, you know, I've never seen every single, you know, big movie he's done that's considered, you know, his best, but also just like what he's known for, some of these movies. So that's like the big draw I had with doing me and Hunter for doing this series. So yeah.
While trying to pick the movies too is really hard. But Hook, baby.
But Hook, we're talking about Hook. We're talking Hook. We're talking Hook.
So Bill, what are your thoughts?
Oh boy. So I saw Hook. I don't even know how old I was the first time I saw it, but I remember being very scared of Dustin Hoffman.
He scary. He's very scary in this movie.
He was freaky as Captain Hook, and Captain Hook, you know, as a character. I mean, you know, growing up seeing like the Disney version of Peter Pan, like Hook is up there in one of my favorite Disney villains, I should say. But seeing him portrayed in a different way with Dustin Hoffman scared me as a kid. And that kept with me, but.
Yeah, he's got like the mascara on.
Yeah,
he's got that wig.
It's like it's the eyebrows for me. Like, I mean, as a person, I know people are just listening to this, but I have really thick eyebrows. So it was like.
Don't worry, they can hear your eyebrows. It's fine.
Yeah, no, they're loud. They're loud. Like they're thick, but then like they have like little tufts like sticking up out of the top, and that was just creepy to me. But then going back and watching it for this. I it kind of surprised me how much like I was like, wait, that scared me as a kid. Like it definitely has its nostalgia, and I felt that throughout a lot of it. But
Interesting.
then, yeah, and I don't know if it's just like a way of the times. It's the early '90s, and it's so much different than like how we see movies now. But
Yeah, we're all basically '90s kids, right? So
yeah, late '90s.
yeah,
I don't know.
late
Something just
'90s.
felt weird about how it was made, and it kind of turned me off a little bit. But,
How so?
um, well, one thing I wrote down was like as soon as it gets into Neverland, about like 45 minutes in, something like that, or however much
Yeah, it
this
does.
time.
It takes a while. Yeah,
It does take a while. It's oddly long. As soon as it gets into Neverland, it's like the production quality dropped. Like
yeah.
you could,
That's interesting that you said that because yeah, I think they had a big budget, but I think maybe like
um,
yeah, there was maybe some like meddling around and like maybe they were because there was a lot of practical effects in the movie, so
yeah.
maybe they had to like kind of work around that.
Wikipedia says the budget was $70 million.
That was probably a lot back then.
Yeah. Um,
That's like
it was
nothing
just
now.
like
That's like an episode of TV
And
now.
it was all used on the actors. It was all
right.
Actually, it might have been though because it's once
Right?
again it's such a stacked cast.
Right.
And it's funny that you mentioned that Hunter because yeah the one of the things I researched about this movie is that yeah like Steven Spielberg, which once again wild that he made this movie because it's in a way and I'll say my thoughts now just to get it over with. Yeah, I was very torn about this movie. I liked some things about it, but yeah, it was I would be very surprised if this isn't going to be the weakest movie we talk about in our mini series because yeah, it's a Robin Williams movie. He's the star, but it doesn't feel like a Robin Williams movie, if that makes sense. Like he's there, but you don't feel it. I don't think even he's feeling it either. And so I'm going to go back to what I was saying before. Like, yeah, Steven Spielberg, the director, was very insecure about having so many stars in the movie, and so like he was just like, yeah, like usually I have like one star, but now I have like five or something like that. Like it was just like let's run through it. So yeah, we got Robin, we got Dustin, we got Bob Hoskins as Smee, which I think is actually the best part of the movie. I think he's hilarious. I think he's so funny in the movie.
I just need to say right now that the scene where they're in Hook's like captain's quarters, that whole interaction deserves a spin-off. Like
absolutely, I
Bob
wanted a movie
Hoskins,
with them.
Like it's so funny. Like I think I even wrote down I wrote down the part where all the ways that Hook was contemplating suicide.
Yeah.
Like as dark as it was, I mean, I can be kind of a sucker for dark humor. So like that I thought was the best part of the whole thing for me. I was cackling. Like it was so funny.
Yeah, I that was like I wrote that down. Like that was my favorite scene I think of the movie where like they're kind of like I wouldn't be surprised if they were fucking. That's all I'm saying. Like they were an old married couple almost. It was hilarious. Like he was like pointing the gun at himself and he's like I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. You can't stop me. You can't stop me. Stop me. It was just like they know each other so well. You felt that energy. Yeah, they're couple goals, man.
Yeah.
I felt I felt the sexual tension in
it
that
was
scene.
there.
It was steamy in that ship. In the corridors and in his office. It was very steamy. That's all I'm saying. But yeah. Hunter, before we move on, what are your overall thoughts?
It's not a perfect movie at all. But I will say
Sure.
I as a kid I owned the VHS tape of this movie. I had it in my hands.
That's so interesting. I think I'm the only one here who didn't grow up with the movie.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Because I feel like this is like a movie I should have like grown up with, but I didn't. For some reason, I didn't. I don't know what happened. Maybe I was I don't know. Was I too young?
Mr. and Mrs. Manna.
Come on.
But yeah, so I had it in my hands, and I like Bill, you said, the nostalgia feeling of it. So I really do love this movie. I do. It's not perfect. I don't even know if it's good. I really don't. But I like it for what it is. I think, and it's interesting that you say that it's not like the Robin Williams movie, because I did pick up on that. I was like, man, this is not his usual like shtick, right? It's not doing like Mrs. Doubtfire. That's a Robin Williams movie,
right? I mean that character, that character too is just like so Robin Williams, up even to the point that like he does voices. You know, like it's so specifically for him that like, you know, you can't have that movie without him as that character, and you know, vice versa. You can't write that character without him. So like that was so Robin Williams, and I felt this one was so not.
Yeah, and you also mentioned how like you don't know if he was feeling it too, which is interesting because this movie, right after this movie, he did Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh wow!
And so I'm wondering if like
this is like a prequel to our past episode.
Yeah, I mean, like where he wasn't feeling it, and he's like, you know what, I need to do something so like kind of out there a little bit.
Interesting.
And so this was also pretty Aladdin too, right? Like that. Am I wrong on that?
Yeah, I think it was, because Aladdin, I think was, what was it, 93, 94?
93 or 92 or 93?
Yeah, I'll look it up. Keep talking, guys.
But I do like his performance in it. I think this movie doesn't work without him.
Yeah, I will actually disagree with you. I don't think he was the best performance of the movie. I think even Hoffman does a little bit better.
I can agree to that, but at the same time, who would you have cast?
That's what I mean. I think Hoffman does a better job. I like I love Julia Roberts as Tinkerbell. I think she's awesome.
We'll talk about Tinkerbell. We'll talk about her. We'll talk about some behind the scenes stuff with her too.
Oh no! Don't ruin Julia Roberts for me, dude.
I think we might.
Oh, don't.
I might get to that point. Who knows?
But Bill, who else would you put as Peter Pan in this film?
Yeah.
Like at this time, like in the 90s,
like in 91,
or even
Well, like, who's an actor at this point in time in the early 90s who was like
Robin Williams,
a big star, and who has this kind of like wound up energy that I think that the character needs. Like that's kind of like a stick in the mud, because that's the antithesis actually of Robin Williams. And I let me just pull up a quote here where like literally Steven Spielberg says that, where like Williams found difficulty behind the scenes playing such a square type A guy, and his quote is, that character is the antithesis of who Robin is. It was a real challenge for him. And so I think, like, you know, obviously it's a character arc where like he starts out as this tight, wound up, like, hey, I'm all about workaholic guy, and then he becomes the Peter Pan we know and love. So like we get to that point where like, yes, Robin Williams can play Peter Pan, but I think like the starting point of his character arc, it's a little like, I don't know, maybe it could have been someone else.
And not to discredit your point on that, I definitely agree that there's definitely probably were some struggles with that. But as I was watching it, as much as like I love seeing him as Peter Pan, like putting Peter panning, is that what it, panning?
He's panning it up.
Yeah, I just think like who could embrace a forever boy who never grows up as an adult than Robin Williams.
I agree. I do agree. I do agree with that. Yeah.
And then I think that might just be a fault of the screenplay as well, because I think he spent too much time of this movie as Peter Panning, and then he's Peter Pan for 20 minutes.
Oh wait, you were saying Panning is in like that's like his last name? No, I think it was like Hanning, not Panning.
No, I think it's actually Banning.
Banning? Oh, we were both wrong.
I'm going to the internet.
I'm banning this discussion right now.
I thought it was panning because it was playing on the pan. I thought that's what it was. Oops.
That was the funniest joke you've ever said.
But yeah, I agree with you, Bill. I think that the screenplay kind of fails what Robin could be going for, because we have so much time where he's like this wound up guy, and you don't really feel like his, at least from a character perspective, like his journey to get to that place really works, because like we spent a lot of time with that side of him, but like it doesn't feel like he's growing or like or learning. He's just like kind of becomes Peter Pan by the end of it.
Like he trains with the Lost Boys and everything. He has like the food fight scene, and
we have the montage,
which was really cool. I did like
the food fight scene is like iconic, dude. Whatever that like frosting was, I always thought looked so good.
That honestly, food looks disgusting. What are you talking about?
I was here for the
fucking insult, disgusting frosting.
I was here for the insult war of Robin Williams versus Rufio. Like that was just so great. Like that was so fun to watch. But then like after that, he kind of went back down a bit to being like that workaholic, uptight guy, and then it kind of out of nowhere, he's like, now I'm Peter Pan. Like,
oh, by the way, Aladdin is 1992, so this was literally a year before he did Aladdin, which is wild. That like. We're like this whole period right now, like 2, 3, 4 year period where he just did like big movie after big movie after big movie.
Yeah. And I looked up because I was looking up like the top actors in like 1991 or whatever. He was the highest grossing actor.
He was hot stuff back then. I mean, like lutely, like he was just in everything. I'm curious. Who else is on that list? Who else is on the list?
Kevin Costner was number 2.
Oh.
Michael J. Fox, Steve Martin, Julia Roberts, Keanu Reeves.
Steve Martin should have been Peter Banning.
If it was Steve Martin,
he's a stick in the mud. He plays sticks in the he has sticks up. He has sticks up his butt.
Yeah, the only other one that I would guess on this list that could like maybe is Tom Hanks, but I don't know if Tom Hanks could pull off the Peter Pan aspect.
I don't think he could.
See, that's the thing. I think it needs to be a little bit of both.
Now, see, Hunter, I thought I just heard you say Keanu Reeves, and honestly, there is an alternate universe where there's Hook with Keanu Reeves.
Dude, and Patrick Swayze as Hook.
And Patrick Swayze as Hook.
It's just Point Break now.
Why are we not writing this down?
Fuck, I gotta write this down. Fuck.
That's amazing.
Yeah, where's that movie? But what else? Yeah. So by the way, I love that kid, that big kid with the hat, like the hat that he chooses at the end. That's like, you can lead them or whatever. I thought that was sweet.
Yeah. That was so sweet.
Oh, such a cute little boy.
Such a tease, though, to the other kids. He's like walking up and down the line with the sword, and he like stops at one kid, and he's like, "No, I'm going over to this kid."
No, not you.
Also, one of my favorite parts of this movie, I don't know why, but it's always stuck with me ever since I was little, is when like the Lost Boys don't believe he's Peter Pan at first, and then this little kid comes over and like touches his face and then recognizes him, and I don't know why that part is so like amazing, but it really is.
Yeah, I agree. I think that kind of just shows like how kids can kind of find anything.
Yeah, like he grew up, but this little boy didn't. So like he can he goes through his face, like he stretches his face or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like let me see your face without wrinkles. Let me see it without wrinkles. Your face. So I thought that was a sweet scene. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. I gotta know, Nick. Tell me about Julia Roberts. What happened with her?
Okay, well, before I even go to that, Julia Roberts, she's making choices in this movie, and I as Tinkerbell, I thought she was a little annoying. I thought it was a bit much. I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe there's a reason Tinkerbell doesn't talk usually. You know, because she usually doesn't talk. I don't know why she's talking in this.
You know, it's a bit of a hit and miss with me because, like, I think she does embrace the sassiness of Tinkerbell, but
I guess so.
I guess I've always kind of thought that like her little crush on Peter Pan was always kind of weird to me.
That was always weird.
And
Yeah, I didn't like that they.
No matter what adaptation it is, I mean, like at the end, like when she makes herself like full-grown Jennifer, not Jennifer, Jennifer Julia Garner. I was like Jennifer, someone else, Julia Garner. Like when she makes herself like full-grown and kisses him, I was like, why?
Weird.
I was really uncomfortable.
That part is weird.
It's
but
so weird.
I don't think that is any fault of Julia Jennifer Garner Roberts.
So very famously, if you research the movie, Julia Roberts had a lot of difficulty with Spielberg during the filming of this movie. They were apparently just really not on the same wavelength. Like it was a pretty miserable experience for her, as she's said. And I'll quote her. It was unfortunate. It was an unfortunate time for us to work together. So yeah, she was clearly in a bad place in her life, I guess. I think she broke up with someone like Kiefer Sutherland. Regardless of even that, yeah. So there was a lot of like apparently just like tension between them, just like no good stuff.
Has Julia Roberts and I know I'm making sure I'm saying the right person.
Yeah, I know Jennifer.
Jennifer Julia Garner. Has Julia Roberts worked with Spielberg since?
No, and actually, I'll pull up a quote. I think he even mentions that somewhere about like just like he probably doesn't want to work with her again. I guess it was that bad. I don't know. But yeah, it was just like she was apparently difficult, and he wasn't having it. So like it was just a lot of stuff. Yeah, actually, I found it. So yeah, in a now infamous 60 Minutes interview, he says it was. Oh no, wait. Okay, that quote I said before was from Spielberg, and then he states that yeah, he would never work with Julia Roberts again. He says it definitively. Damn.
See, there are a lot of people in Hollywood who, like, when you think about it, like, that's a person's bad side I don't want to be on. Steven Spielberg is one of them.
Yeah, because he's like film god. Like, don't upset him.
He's the king right now. Like,
he still is. He's the king, baby.
Yeah, him and like Scorsese. Maybe.
Yeah, Scorsese, George Lucas. Even though he probably doesn't do much of anything anymore, like those are like the titans, you know.
You know what? Wait. I'm gonna say it.
Say it.
I'm gonna freaking say it. I'm on Julia Roberts' side.
All right.
I am.
Well, that regardless, yeah, even I was just stating that there was difficulty on set. I wasn't picking a side. I just didn't like her performance in the movie.
It was I fault the screen. A lot of the things in this movie that I fault the screenplay.
Yeah, like she was. I think she was probably doing her best with what she was given. It was just really like not.
See, great. Me, I think the reason that I like her performance so much is that, like, in my opinion, she's so not Julia Roberts. You know what I mean?
What?
It's like I don't know. Like, have you guys ever seen Notting Hill or something like that?
No.
No, or, I don't know. It just, I think she's just so. She plays like a tomboyish like Tinkerbell so well. I don't know. Maybe it was just me being a kid and I liked it.
Hey, you know, maybe you didn't grow up, Hunter.
Maybe I didn't grow up. Okay, maybe you got Peter Pan syndrome here.
The actor who played Rufio, the leader of the Lost Boys when Peter arrives.
Yep, Dante Bosco, who is the voice of Zuko.
Voice of Prince Zuko.
in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah, like think about it. Think about his voice.
I'm looking at the cast list on Wikipedia. And Dante Basco, you click on him, Prince Zuko, Avatar: Last Airbender, Jake Long in American Dragon, Jake Long. Yeah.
Come on, he was killing it. He has a great
And then he gets killed.
resume.
Dante Bosco to the list of stars, baby.
Phil
Yeah.
Collins? Phil Collins was in this movie?
Yeah, Phil Collins was in this movie for. I think he was either a pirate or no. He was I think he was a detective.
Yeah, he says
When the children are missing,
Inspector
and
Good.
he's like, I was watching it with my dad, and he was like, "Oh, that's Phil Collins," and I was like, "What?"
Oh yeah, and it says David Crosby, Jimmy Buffett were in this movie. Glenn Close, George Lucas, and Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, George
played-
Lucas and Carrie Fisher are the couple that kiss and they kind
Yeah.
of float
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the pixie dust. Like, also, why is George Lucas kissing Princess Leia? What's going on there?
That feels weird to me.
Yeah, that also feels weird to me. That's
But he's also the guy who told her that there's no underwear in space. So I don't know.
And
Hey, really?
I will also say
Yeah, wait. Let me elaborate on that. Yeah. So
Yeah, wait,
during the
yeah.
during the filming of Star Wars, the first one, I think all of them, he was just like, "Yeah, don't wear underwear. There's no underwear in space." Like he only told her that.
bro.
That's-
Bro.
dude.
You gotta listen to Carrie Fisher's. I think it's a speech where they're they're congratulating Lucas. They give it I either like gave him an award or something. But yeah, she has a speech that you can look up. She's talking about Lucas, and yeah, it's just like an incredible speech. By the way, she's so funny. And speaking of Carrie Fisher, she ghost wrote some of the scripts, and then she kind of left. She was like, "Yeah, I can't do it."
It's a lost cause, guys. Sorry.
Yikes.
But anyway, that speech is incredible. You got to check it out. It's so good.
Yeah, I will say though for Hook, I think like as much as I loved Robin and then Dustin Hoffman, the saving grace for me performance wise, Dame Maggie Smith. Give her
Maggie,
respect.
Yeah. By the way, incredible makeup job. By the way, because she's not that old. Like
No.
in the movie, and she looks like that now. Like, oh, that's incredible. Like they actually predicted what she was gonna look like in 20, 30 years.
It was nominated for best makeup at the Oscars.
Well, that makes sense then, because yeah, it was really convincing, because I was like, oh, did she not age? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, that is kind of. I didn't realize that until you said it, Nick. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It is nuts. It's nuts.
Was it nominated for anything else?
It says it was nominated for 5 categories.
Ooh.
It did not win any of them. It was nominated for production design,
Okay.
and it lost to Bugsy.
Bugsy?
I don't know what that means. Best costume design lost to Bugsy.
Man, when you lose to Bugsy, yeesh, that's not a good look.
Apparently, you become more famous than Bugsy.
And then they were also nominated for best visual effects and makeup, and lost both of those to Terminator 2: Judgment Day.
All right, Terminator 2: Judgment Day deserves it, bro.
And then it was nominated for best original song and lost to Beauty and the Beast.
Well, that makes sense. Beauty and the
Yeah.
Beast it's a masterpiece. It's a classic. We all love it. Come on. So yeah. So what else? I think we ran through most of the cast. Yeah. So Gwyneth Paltrow shows up near the end for some reason, and I was kind of like, oh my god, like it's just like Gwyneth Paltrow now. Like she just looked like I don't know if she was how old she was in the movie, but she was like, I don't know, she just looked like she does now, and she was just like showed up as a little girl, and I was like, that's just Gwyneth Paltrow.
I feel like she doesn't remember that. Like, she says she doesn't remember making like three of the Iron Man movies.
That's right. I remember exactly this. Like she doesn't remember that she was in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Oh yeah, Hunter. Yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow like said in an interview she doesn't remember like being in one of the Spider-Man movies or like Avengers: Infinity War. She like doesn't remember being in it.
My God.
Bro, Gwyneth Paltrow. Whenever I hear anything she says, I'm just like, fuck you.
She has a candle line now where she's selling candles that smell like her vagina.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Okay. I thought you knew. It sounded like you knew that.
No, I know.
Oh no! I knew about the
Give me the book,
candles.
too.
Yeah. It's apparently really expensive, which I'm yeah.
I would
Nick, you look like you looked into this.
Look, I cannot confirm nor deny that I researched about this.
See, what the fuck? Gwyneth
But yeah,
Paltrow.
she's a weird presence in
Yeah.
general. But she's also Tony Stark's wife, so how bad can she really be?
Hey.
But yeah, so who else? We went. I think we went through all the major actors in this movie.
I just remembered something else that I like just didn't like about this movie,
Yeah, go ahead.
amongst a lot of the things. But one thing I really didn't like that was not needed was this Peter Pan backstory. Like where they showed him as a baby, and then the wind like carried his stroller away,
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
That's kind of funny, and it's
and
not supposed to
it
be
was
funny.
raining. It was raining, and the baby was crying, holding his teddy bear. I mean, like it's what got Peter to embrace the Peter Pan side again. Like that was like what that was leading into. But like
Right.
I was watching
Yeah.
that, and I was like, that is weird to me.
Yeah,
That doesn't have any
anytime they try to like give a backstory to Peter Pan, like literally they've made like almost like
They
10
made so
movies.
many.
Like so 10 or so movies just about like, oh, how did he become Peter Pan? I don't care how he
I
became Peter
don't.
Pan. I
Yeah.
don't I could give less of a fuck how he became Peter Pan. Like all I care about is that like he's Peter Pan and we waited and we waited like 2 hours for that to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's really not Peter Pan for very long.
It's not really Peter Pan for most of it.
But when it happens, is it worth it?
I don't think so. I think it
No.
kind of works. I mean, like I think he's given it his all. I mean, like he's
Yeah.
Robin
Yes
Williams
and
is
no.
was one of the best actors for a reason. Like even with a lesser movie, he's still gonna bring his all to it. But like
Yeah.
for a movie that was like telling him to not give it his all for like a lot of it, like it's just weird. That's why it's so weird to watch this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it,
But there are things I liked about it. Also, like I didn't hate the movie.
No.
It's hard to hate it because it's just weird. It's a wild movie. Yeah, we were talking about the fake food fight, which I thought was really fun, and I liked like his interactions with the kids.
One thing I really enjoyed at the beginning, it gave me a nice little bit of the serotonin to start the movie. It's when they're flying to London, they're on the plane, and his daughter in the movie Maggie shows a painting, or not painting, a drawing that she drew of like the plane crashing, and she was like, that's me with the parachute, that's Jack with the parachute, that's mom with the parachute, and then there's you falling into the ocean on fire. And
Yeah,
I
like
was like,
where's my parachute? Oh, you don't have one.
I was like, this child is okay with her father just perishing, and that is so scary to
and
think about.
also, then he goes up to the son and he's like, "Where's my parachute?" Other than like, "Hey, bud, what's wrong? You okay? You're drawing really weird photos."
Yeah, but honestly though, I would act the same way. Like Robin Williams, what's his character's name? Well, I know it's
Peter
Peter Pan, but like
Peter Banning.
Banning,
Banning,
not panning.
right, not panning. So like he's like, oh, I'll go to your game, and he doesn't. Like I'd be pissed too. Like you said, you were going, Robin.
I mean, the kid sucked at baseball anyway, so
Yeah, I mean he sucked. Yeah, even the Pirates knew that he like kind of sucked.
Mm-hmm.
I
But
really wrote that down. I was like, he's playing with pirates who had never heard or played baseball before, and he still sucks.
oh, speaking of things I liked, I liked when like what was it? One of the pirates just like shot one of the other pirates in the game, like to give him an advantage. I thought that was like so clever.
Oh yeah, there's like another one of those kind of gags. I think it's like when Peter arrives to Neverland, he like asks Hook, like, give my kids, and like he took out his checkbook and was like gonna write him a check to
Yeah,
like pay for his kids, and then he shoots through the checkbook and he just kills one of the pirates.
that's right. There's so many
That's
pirate
good.
murders in this movie.
Like I feel like that's something that happens in any telling of Peter Pan. Like there's always like random like pirate murders.
That's true. Hook is like so like he's a drama queen. Like he'll just shoot his own men. He'll just like fuck his own fucking plan up. Like he'll like just to even talk to Peter Pan. He'll like he'll do all this like shit. Like he'll just like sabotage himself. That's why I like Hook as a character because he's such a like he's kind of pathetic. I mean, he's scary too. Like, don't get me wrong, but like he's kind of like almost like the Joker, with like the Batman Joker relationship, where like Joker almost like kind of wants his plan to like fall through, just to like, I don't know, hang out with Batman. You know, like it's like that kind of relationship where they're like destined to fight forever, kind of thing.
Yeah, because without Peter Pan, what are you? What are you,
Yeah.
Hook?
And that's what he even says that in that banger scene with him and Smee, like, oh, like, you know, who am I without Peter Pan or whatever. Yeah.
It's a fact. It's a fact. Hook, you're nobody. You're nobody. What is there? A Hook movie? No.
It's called Hook.
It's called Hook. Where's Hook?
Oh fuck.
The movie is called Hook, man.
Also, yeah, why is it called Hook?
Because they didn't want to call it Peter Pan, I
Yeah,
guess.
so dumb. So dumb. I'm calling it. So dumb.
But then there's like a more recent one called just Pan.
That was a Hugh Jackman one, right?
Yeah, that was a huge flop.
Yeah, I never saw it. There's also one called Wendy. I also never saw that one.
That just came
Jesus.
out like less than 2 years ago.
Are they just gonna never call one Peter Pan again? They're just gonna find like Tink or like, I don't know, Belle,
Lost Boys.
Croc, a dial. I don't know.
No, you know what? There has to be one already called Lost Boys. There has to be.
Oh, there has to be. I'm gonna look it up while you guys talk.
Yeah, there has to be one called Lost Boys. It's just to be different. It's just to be like, hey, this one's different, but it tells like kind of the same story.
Aren't they doing? Isn't Disney doing like one of their like live action remake treatment for it? They're calling it like Peter Pan and Wendy, I think.
Yeah, that sucks.
Wait, what's happening?
Well, they're gonna do like they always fucking do. They're gonna do a live action remake like they do with every other fucking movie they've ever made.
Yeah, they're calling it Peter Pan and Wendy, I think. They have a cast. I can't find it.
Yeah, there is a movie. There is a movie called The Lost Boys, but it has nothing to do with the Lost Boys from.
Oh, it's vampires.
Oh, it's vampires.
Yeah, it's Kiefer Sutherland movie.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Joel Schumacher directed the movie.
It's my Halloween movie.
Oh shit. This kind of sounds dope. Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's badass. Right when I saw Robin Williams at not Robin, Steven Spielberg at the end credit, I was like, "What the fuck?"
He disowns it though. I think he said like.
Oh yeah, he does not. Yeah, he does not.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he doesn't like this movie. He's said multiple times like, yeah, I really don't like what I made. Like I was very insecure at the time.
You made Jaws, and you're trying to tackle Peter Pan. How you insecure?
This new Peter Pan remake.
Yeah, do we know who's gonna be in this steaming pile of trash?
Captain Hook will be played by Jude Law.
You know,
and Smee is going to be Jim Gaffigan.
Oh, Jim. Okay.
And then I don't know who's it is.
So I'm okay with the two actors. What I'm not okay with is the pairing.
Yeah, that's a weird pairing. It could work. It could be so weird that like maybe like it works. But yeah, that's a little weird. Do you guys know who was gonna potentially play Hook? And let's talk about Hook for a second. It's his movie, and we haven't really talked about him.
Yeah.
Or kind of his movie. But yeah, like Dustin Hoffman's pretty good, but I also think it's not that great. I think he's great in movies. I don't know if he's a great guy or not. I don't know, but I think he's usually great. Have you guys seen Meyerowitz Stories?
Yes.
He is fantastic in that movie. He's so good. He plays like the dad, and he's just like the worst dad ever. But also maybe the like you kind of like him too. It's a great performance. Like regardless of everything. But yeah, so yeah, Hook is pretty good. But yeah, I once again I liked Bob Hoskins more. I thought he was just like a fun presence. He was different than some of the other Smees we have, where like Smee is usually kind of like. Sort of like nice, and he's just kind of working with the bad guys. Like he's just kind of like, Hook, maybe don't do that. And like like he's kind of like maybe Hook's emotional anchor. Once again, couple goals. But they have that energy in a different way where like Smee is like kind of egging him on to like do bad shit, like so it's like almost a toxic relationship, you know. But yeah, I thought he was just like super fun, and at the end he's like just stealing everything, and he's just like, all right, everything's going to shit. I'm gonna steal shit. And then he gets caught, and he's like, nope, I was just taking this stuff for now. Let's go.
No.
But you know who was going to play Hook, or they were thinking at least possible Hooks, and David Bowie was in mind, and I think that would have been maybe better.
Oh,
wow!
He would have been like scary, but also like flamboyant in the way that we needed Hook to be, because Hook is kind of flamboyant in like a lot of versions, like the Disney one and other ones. We were kind of missing that kind of over the topness about Hook in this movie.
That would be a really interesting choice.
That's a really interesting take. And like,
yeah, I kind of
Robin Williams in there though, like that feels like a different kind of dynamic.
Yeah, like David Bowie and Williams. That would have been a different dynamic for sure, but I think that could have been better. You should have played Hook.
Yeah, I don't know. That's very difficult because probably because I grew up with it. It's hard to imagine anybody else other than Dustin Hoffman.
Right.
Just because I'm interested to see what you guys think too. I think with a better screenplay, I think that Robin Williams and Dustin Hoffman, I think their chemistry was like pretty good for the stuff that they had together. Like, I think in a better movie, it would have been like amazing to see.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a version of this movie that could have been just like hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Here's something I'm thinking about, like, because I'm
hell yeah, Hook.
I'm still in the David Bowie thing.
Yeah.
And I know it was a couple years prior. Do you think that maybe when they were casting it, they might have been on the Rain Man hype with Dustin Hoffman? Rain Man came out in '88, and this was '91.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
Do you think maybe they were still on the hype of that, and then with the rise to superstardom of Robin Williams, that they're like, let's get these guys in a movie now?
Totally. I think that's totally a thing.
That might be possible. I don't know. That's just the thought I had.
Yeah, that I could see that.
Yeah. God, it's so interesting what goes like on, even like with the behind the scenes, it's not like online or whatever, like in the casting room, right? It's so interesting to like speculate over that stuff.
Yeah, do you guys know who was potentially going to be Peter Pan?
No.
Michael Jackson. Which I think, now maybe it's for the best.
What? Yeah. What is this? Have you guys seen Captain EO?
Look, Captain EO's spectacular.
Bro, this movie would have turned into Captain EO too if Michael Jackson played it.
Look, it would have been a very different energy.
You know what? I'm so sorry.
That is scary. Yeah, in a way, it shouldn't be.
I imagine if David Bowie and Michael Jackson were in this movie,
they would have had a dance off.
They would have had
he would be literally like moonwalking as he's flying.
Yeah. So Jackson was interested, and it was going to be a musical, and it's interesting that they wanted it to be a musical because there are a few musical numbers in this movie, and there's one where the little girl sings a song for no reason.
You know what?
That was weird to me.
You know what that reminded me of when I was watching it? When fucking Cindy Lou Who sings.
I was thinking that exact same thing.
I literally was like, Nick's gonna love this.
Look, Cindy Lou Who was You know, is she the greatest singer? I don't know, but she sold me on it. This little
She
girl,
sells "Where Are You Christmas."
yeah, she sells "Where Are You Christmas," one of the top songs of all time. Look, one of the greatest achievements in cinematic history. So do not even compare that to
Oh,
what
I'm
this little
comparing.
girl sings in Hook. Okay, like, look, it was cute. She's an adorable little girl, but like, look, Cindy Lou Who, "Where Are You Christmas"? Come on.
You know what? I will say, at least in this movie, they added a little context. They go, "Oh man, my mom used to sing that song."
Okay, I mean, like, sure, that's
Oh
a. I
man.
guess that's kind of a reason, but I thought it was interesting that the movie was gonna kind of be a musical, and they kept some songs for some reason.
Let's after hearing that song, let's just be glad that it wasn't a musical. I'm so happy. You know
I
what?
want. I would like it to be a musical. I think it actually maybe would have helped.
No.
Yes.
I think if they gave like not like full on like song every 5 minutes, but like
Maybe
if,
every
like, in
10 minutes. Maybe every 10 minutes.
maybe every seven.
Yeah. Let's be realistic.
But like think about like the great musical number that would happen with Captain Hook and Smee.
Hook and Smee needed a ballad together. They needed a duet. They come on.
Or like a thing with the Lost Boys and Peter Pan, like that, like maybe like 4 songs max in the whole thing.
Yeah, Hook and Smee needed a sexually charged number together. I thought that would just be like the best.
Okay. If like
I don't want to see your computer history, man.
I will not delete my internet history. Thank you very much.
Gwyneth Paltrow and her candles and and Captain Hook and Smee
Fanfic.
fiction.
Yeah, Hook and Smee fanfic.
Look, if Robin Williams and Dustin Hoffman, or no, if Robin Williams and Rufio had like a dance sing song number like in High School Musical 2 of like You Can't Dance or something like that, I'd be down for that. I would. I'd be
Hell
down.
yeah. That sounds like something the movie should have done. That sounds amazing. I love it. I love it, baby.
In this movie, is Pan a title?
Oh, like
Because they were like, "You're the Pan," and then when he
see
passed it down, he was like, "You're the Pan."
yeah, that literally makes no sense.
And I was like, I thought Pan was his last name.
Yeah, it's like saying to Julia Roberts, "Oh, you're the Roberts."
Oh, you're the Tinker.
Or you're the Bell. It's like what? It's like, yeah, that's a strange choice. I don't know what they were trying to say or what they're trying to do with that. It's a screenplay. That's the biggest offender, I think.
So Peter Pan on Wikipedia, it goes, the character's name comes from 2 sources. Peter Llewellyn Davies, one of 5 Llewellyn Davies boys who inspired the story, and Pan, a minor deity of Greek mythology who plays pipes to nymphs and is part human and part goat.
Okay, but that's not Peter Pan.
Look, man, I'm trying to give the.
I know you're trying, and I respect it.
I'm trying to make this movie good. Okay, shut up.
I'm reading what these writers also did.
Oh yeah.
The screenplay is written by 2 people. One of them, I'm looking at their page right now, is James V. Hart. He wrote the screenplay for Muppet Treasure Island in 1996.
Dude, and we just watched that recently.
Bro, literally, we just watched that, and I got the vibes. I got the vibes when they first go into Neverland and the boat. I got
so they can write pirates.
This man wrote August Rush.
Okay.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, which is a good
movie. But I love it. They can write good movies, probably.
Who is this person? The other writer, Malia Scotch Marmo. Okay. I'm reading on them now.
That sounds like a name.
Scotch Marmo, yeah.
Uncredited, helped write The Polar Express.
Bruh, this movie was meant to be, bro.
It was.
Uncredited.
Isn't that weird?
And uncredited for Jurassic Park and Enchanted.
Oh, Enchanted's fun. I love Enchanted.
These movies,
Oh, also Jurassic Park. Yeah, one of the greatest
Yeah, I guess
cinematic
Jurassic Park
achievements.
too.
Whatever.
whatever.
But, like,
Jurassic
But
Park.
Enchanted.
those two minds
Amy
together on
Adams.
Hook. I'm like, did they clash a lot writing this thing?
Well,
Because
maybe Hook was like the start of their redemption.
maybe.
You know what? Isn't that's so interesting because that's weird. One of them wrote Enchanted and the other wrote Muppet Treasure Island.
It's wild.
So like it's kind of like, I don't know. To me anyway, it's like the merging of worlds right here.
You think it would
man.
be good harmony, but
To each their own.
But yeah, let's talk more about Robin Williams, because I think we lost him in this movie, and I think that's the movie's fault because there isn't really a lot to talk about, unfortunately, with Robin Williams. It's not his fault. I think once again, there's like little moments where you can tell like he's Robin Williams is kind of leaking out into this performance where like he's making some jokes before he gets to Neverland. He makes a few jokes. I forget what they are exactly, but it was something about maybe like the dollhouse or like something about rats. I forget exactly, but like he was making a few jokes here and there. Like you can tell like he's trying to inject humor into these situations, into the movie. I just don't think it's in character with what's going on, and also I just don't think, unfortunately, there isn't a lot of moments for him to be funny.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree. I right after the name calling situation, he really kind of goes away in terms of like Robin Williams.
Yeah, and like he can do more than be funny. Obviously, we've seen that. Like he's a great, brilliant dramatic actor. It's just like, yeah, I think it's just a movie. There's just not a lot of opportunities for him to do things like that.
the closest he gets to being Peter Pan before he becomes Peter Pan is that food fight scene.
Right, and that scene kind of works.
And then it goes away for X number of minutes, and then all of a sudden there he is, Peter Pan. And I just think there's so much like contradictory like moments in it. And
it just wasn't a smooth journey for him. Like it should have been like, all right, now we understand why he is Pan again, and we were kind of missing some pieces. So let me talk about the final fight where he is Peter Pan. He's saving his kids, he's fighting the pirates, and Rufio fucking dies.
I wrote something like that. It says Hook murdered a child, and then like 5 seconds, like they seem to mourn it, but then like 2 seconds later they start cheering.
The Lost Boys know, okay? In battle, things happen. All right, so sometimes Rufio gotta go.
And by the Lost Boys' decree, we shall not mourn one of our own.
If anything, we celebrate. We cheer loudly for them all to hear.
Rufio is dead.
Bro, let's be real. Rufio probably bullied them. I wasn't there before Robin Williams was there, but right when Robin Williams was there, Rufio kind of seemed like a jerk.
I mean, Rufio is dressed like with like the red like mohawks and everything.
Iconic.
I mean, he was embracing that '90s punk, like he was really on that.
Yeah, he was like the school bully.
Yeah.
But then
Good
you
on the
kind of like
costume
him,
design.
sort of. I don't know.
No, Rufio, he's badass. I'm just trying to justify everything you guys don't like about this movie.
So the fighting happens. We fight, and I think the weirdest thing happens in the movie. I don't know if you guys agree with me on this, but so there, Hook, Peter Pan snatches that man's wig, Hook's wig, and it was a weave the whole time. And Hook is like, all right, fine, I give up. And then he kind of backstabs him, and he's like, I will find your kids and I will kill them, and this. And like Peter Pan is just kind of like, bye. But like that's his intention. His intention is to leave and like, whatever, we'll fight again. This was fun. And like but so like he's going and then the kids are like, no, and like and Hook is like, no, really, I'll come back and I'll fucking kill them all. And then the weirdest thing happens. So like I don't know how this happens exactly, but like so they stuff the crocodile in this pirate town, right? And they have him like displayed. It's like, yeah, we killed him. Here he is. And so like the stuffed crocodile falls down on Hook, and he just disappears. Hunter's like, hell yeah,
Yeah, bro. Hell yeah, he does.
I was extremely confused. Obviously, I guess he's dead, but like, where did he go?
Yeah, I was like,
In the tummy.
What?
He's dead. The stuffed croc.
The croc is dead. What does that even mean?
I don't know, man.
Look, Hunter, it's all right. You can like the movie still. Don't cry.
It's good, guys.
But like, I was just so confused.
Julia Roberts is great.
She's amazing. No.
It was just so confusing. I was just like, where did I get that like he's gone, but like what happened?
Yeah, for me it was just like I liked that he made a point of like I killed the crocodile, we stuffed it, it is in the middle of town, but it still ends up being his downfall, which is
a good note to end his character on, like totally.
It's fine, but I think I would have been okay with. I would have liked it better if the croc was still alive, but hadn't like bothered Hook for so long.
Yeah, like this croc's, he's starting his comeback tour, baby.
Yeah,
yeah. Thought he killed it or something like that, but like
yeah,
it just went away.
Know. Like a dead croc can still kill a guy. Like I don't know. I don't know. Odd.
Like the croc would say something like, "Yo, I'm back from the dead, bitch," and like just kill Hook or something. Something like that. Something, an amazing line of dialogue like that.
Hook.
Right.
Hook
I mean,
thought
they put a great.
Hook thought that he conquered time, man. But time will always find a way.
No, I mean, yeah, totally. So yeah, that was just like a weird thing because like, yeah, you can't have Peter Pan kill Hook because then he'll be like a crazy murder man. But also like he said he's gonna come back and steal his kids again. So like it was just like, what do you do?
It's because Robin Williams wanted Hook too.
Hook 2.
To revive it.
No Hook 2.
No, you can't.
No.
You literally can't. No. In a strange way, it's so weird. It's enjoyable still. Like as much as like we can pick apart everything, like it was watchable. It was too long, but it was watchable, and like you had a time.
Yeah, as clunky as it was written and how it looked and all that, it was definitely like 20 minutes too long. Maybe more.
Oh, definitely more. I thought it was like an hour too long.
This could have been an hour and a half. This could have been an hour and a half.
This could have been an easy, a quick New York minute, hour and a half kind of movie. It should have been an hour and a half.
Yeah, and then in terms of Robin Williams, I mean, it definitely is not my favorite performance of his.
No. But it's okay, but it's also good to like look at everything he's done, and I wanted to pick this one just to like see because once again it's well liked. People like this movie a lot. I mean, like it's a popular movie. People have nostalgia towards it, like you two guys do. So like it has its place in society, but in movie history, you know what I mean? Like like people went on set like thinking this was going to be the next Wizard of Oz. Like this was like the big hot movie, back then when it came to just like filming and just like ooh, Dustin Hoffman, Robin Williams, like so like this has a place in the world.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, this is a hot take, but I'd watch this movie over the OG. I would.
What OG? Which one?
The cartoon.
Oh, are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. I would watch this one before I watch the cartoon. Just because I like it more.
Okay. I mean, if you like it more, I mean,
better. I like this one more.
Okay, interesting.
For some reason, I'm a weirdo.
For some
okay?
reason,
I'm
maybe
wrong, and I
it's
know it.
nostalgia, or maybe you just like watching it. Like, no, I was just curious
Maybe
why
I
we
just
you would
maybe
compare.
I
mean,
just like Dustin Hoffman's mustache moving while he's sleeping.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
It's pretty magnificent.
the
Pretty cool.
cartoon is only an hour and 17 minutes.
Oh, that is a good length.
It's a good runtime.
Especially
See,
compared to this movie's 2.5 hour
Here we go.
long runtime.
Here we go. I'd watch this one first to get it out of the way. on my Peter Pan. See, I'm going back and I'm
Keep
correcting
digging
myself.
the hole deeper while you're
All
at
right, yeah, that was a good redemption arc for Hunter.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, so that was Hook. That was our discussion on Hook. Before we wrap up, probably going to be the weakest movie we do on this mini series, but
Yeah.
I thought this was a very necessary thing to like go back to because I'm glad I watched it. I never watched it before, but yeah, when it comes to the right now, currently our list, yeah, it would be Doubtfire. This movie, so like, yeah, I definitely appreciate Doubtfire. His performance in Doubtfire more, that aligns more with like his sensibilities and everything, while this one like for me at least, like really didn't, for the most part. Not his fault, but it really didn't. So but it'll be interesting to move forward to see, him do more funny work and for him to do more dramatic work in our Robin Williams miniseries. So I would give this movie a 5 out of 10, split down the middle. There's some good things, there's some really strange things, but it kept my attention. It was entertaining, but yeah, it's a weird one.
I'd agree. 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10, split down the middle, baby.
Good 50%.
50%. 50%.
know.
Thank you so much, Bill, for being such a wonderful guest star.
I have had a great time. Thank you guys.
Yeah,
for
this
having
was
me.
great.
Yes, this was awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bill. You're awesome. You're a great actor. You're a great guy.
Oh, thank you, sir.
And I love talking movies with you. So yeah.
Anytime.
And yeah. And thanks again, Hunter.
Thank you, Nick.
No, thank you very much. And thank all of you for listening to our second episode of our Robin Williams miniseries. Stay tuned for more episodes in the miniseries, and where we talk more Robin Williams, baby.
Heck yeah.
Our next episode is most likely, at least, going to be Insomnia. It is Christopher Nolan's movie where he plays, I think a crazy person. I don't remember. I don't know because I've never seen the movie.
I've also never seen the movie.
All I've heard is that he's good in it, and Al Pacino's in it. It's a Christopher Nolan movie, so we'll have to see.
We'll have to see.
We'll have to. Okay. But yeah, thank you all for listening. Please rate, review, subscribe. This has been NYC Actors Talk Film. We also have a website, right, Hunter?
Indeed, you can go to walkingpoem12.wixsite/NYC Actors Talk Film, or you can go to our Instagram and click the link in the bio, which has literally all of our stuff.
And our Instagram is also NYC Actors Talk Film.
Yes. And on the website, you can find our guests, our episodes, and a little bio about how the show got started.
Also, we got a YouTube channel where we do video versions of these podcast episodes. Major props to Joey Dalton for our miniseries artwork. Bill, where can we find you?
All right. I'm pretty straightforward here. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. It is my name with 2 underscores in between. So it is at Bill 2 underscores Wetherbee, spelled WETHERBEE. I'm also on TikTok. I recently have gone viral on TikTok with an Animaniacs TikTok liked by Rob Paulson himself. You can find me on there at Billiam2015. And
which is a glorious video, by the way. I fucking love that song, and that's amazing that you know it so well.
It has been in my head since 2008.
It just never stopped being in your head.
It's on an eternal loop. Yeah, so follow me on all those social medias. Maybe I'll follow back. I don't know.
Maybe.
If you're lucky. If you're freaking lucky.
If you want.
Yeah.
Thanks again, everyone, for listening. This has been NYC Actors Talk Film. We're available everywhere you listen to podcasts. And all that there is left to say, really, is
Bangarang!
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 Screeching sound.
Screeching sound.